that to iPad, and you can have it in portrait mode or in landscape mode, it won't matter. We're just going to take a walk around the device. So let's start off with the front camera right in the centre at the top for taking selfies and other pictures. There's a top button to the right of that which will power on your iPad, switch it on and off. There's volume buttons to the right hand side of it for adjusting volumes up and down. At the very bottom of that iPad you've got the home button, one of the most important buttons that we'll keep returning to over the period of this little demonstration. On the rear we have the rear camera for taking photographs and pointing at pictures. That sits underneath the on-off button and the volume buttons. On the right hand side we have the microphone jack for listening to any music or movies or whatever. We've got speakers at the bottom, and don't forget you can have Bluetooth speakers and Bluetooth headphones to connect to iPad if you wish. And then we've got the lightning connector down at the bottom to power your iPad and make it last all day. So there we have it. That's just a basic walkthrough around the front and the rear of the iPad. Now I'm going to concentrate on using the iPad and the gestures. So we can use the iPad, as I said, in portrait view if that's where you like to have it, or we're going to do the demonstration in landscape view where we can see all of our apps and get a kind of wider screen estate. And we'll keep returning to this home button as a way of switching on the device, starting it up, but also helping you out when things get stuck. So looking at the basic gestures then, it's all about touch, it's all about swiping and touching and pinching. Those are the kind of features that we want to be able to use on an iPad. So starting off with swipe, if I swipe from swipe left, if I've got lots of apps and different pages, when I swipe left I'll move between those pages, and swiping right will move me right across the screen. If I'm on my home screen and I swipe right again, what comes up is my Today view, and Today view is options you have to put little widgets or little tools that you can add, things for like weather, for the calculator, for books you're reading, and you can edit that later on. Swipe left to get back to your home screen like this without the Today view. Now if you swipe from the top down you'll get the lock screen, and the lock screen just stops any presses from happening. If you click on the home button, that will get you back into your iPad. So if you swipe down, you can lock it. If we swipe from the bottom up, from the edge to the bottom up, what we'll get to see is our app switcher. So if we've had lots of different apps open, we can use different apps. It remembers which apps we've been using before, and we can choose an app. So I'm choosing iMovie here. It opens up the iMovie app when I move into the app switcher. When I want to come out of that, I press that home button again. Okay, so if I drag from the top right hand corner down, if I swipe there, what I'll get is my control center, which gives me different features for Wi-Fi, for Bluetooth, for recording, but also to adjust the brightness of the screen and to adjust the volume in case you find using those volume controls just a little bit too fiddly at the side. To get out of that, again, click back on the home button, which will always help you out and be a friend. So for example, if I swipe to two screens to the right, if I press the home button, it'll take me back to this home screen where I typically put my most used apps into that space. If I was to swipe down in the middle of the screen, what it gives me is my search toolbar, and then there I can search for apps or files that I've already saved on my iPad. So I'm searching for the Sketches app, and the top hit is the Sketches app there, but there's also settings for the Sketch app. Some of the files I've been using, Siri can look for sketches, it might suggest some films for you, or emails that contain the word sketches. Regardless, if you swipe down in the middle of the page, you'll get that search toolbar, and to get away from it, once again, we do the home button. Another time we'll use a specific gesture called pinch, where we use two fingers to pinch out to zoom in, and use two fingers to pinch back in to shrink an object. We'll see this all over the iPad. So on a website you could pinch using two fingers out the way to zoom in, and then pinch with your two fingers in the way to get back to the resized part. Other apps allow you to use the pinch to make objects bigger or smaller on the screen to resize them. Some have handles where you can resize just with one finger, but at the same time allow you to use two fingers on the object to rotate it all the way around. One final gesture is when we hold our finger on an app, hold it long enough and eventually the apps will begin to jiggle and a little X will appear to allow you to delete the app if you wish. But if you hold your finger on the apps while they're jiggling, like the Safari icon, we can move it to wherever it is we want it to appear on that particular page. So we can move our apps around and organise them the way we want them. We can even hover an app over another app and that will create a folder for those apps to join together. We can even give that folder a new name if we wish, but if not, you can just hold your finger on the app as it's jiggling and move it back on. So this is a really nice way of organising your home screen and other screens. When you're happy, you can press the home button to finish.